Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back in as we get ready to go to battle here this afternoon. Drivers out there on the racetrack here with the Outcast Racing League live from the beautiful Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So these drivers hopping out onto the racetrack, they're laying down their quick times here as open qualifying here this afternoon. Normally we see close qualifying for these drivers, but here today we get some open qualifying action. So it's just going to make things that much more interesting, that much funner here this evening as they hop out there onto the racetrack, each and every one of them looking for the win here this afternoon, looking to try to put themselves to the top of that leaderboard, looking to try to pick up the checkered flag here this evening. Now, do bear with us here on the afternoon as there is a thunderstorm a rolling and a rumbling outside my house right now. It has gotten crazy over the last 5-10 minutes. If I get really quiet, you might be able to hear it come through the headphones. I'm not 100% sure, but I can hear it through the headphones over the loudness of the cars and everything else. I can hear it in my ears and feel it basically rumbling in my feet here and through my body in the chair. So it's a pretty good thunderstorm rolling on out there right now. It's been raining all day up here in the southeast Ontario, and it has now grown to a thunderstorm out there, man. It's probably getting pretty crazy out there. I just walked down to the store, just got back out there, and it was pretty crazy as Caboose Rachin says, good luck, drivers. Cheering on all these drivers here this afternoon. I probably got that completely wrong, Cab, but hopefully I get that kind of right. But coming in, cheering on all these drivers as they look to have a great day at the Speedway here. We see a group of 3 out there, a couple of the Elite Sim racing rides, one of the Quantum Motorsports cars, Johnny Thunders, Cameron Combs, and that 49 of Kurt Sponsler. They're out there. They're looking to try to lay down their quick times out there on the racetrack. You do see the number 99 of Chris Muse. He's out there. Tyler Humphrey in the beautiful number 9 ride. He slides out there onto the Speedway as well, looking to try to get some good laps. Looks like he may be done there, as right now he's 6th quickest on the racetrack. Casey Gross out there on the racetrack in that beautiful Tampa Bay Buccaneers number 77 ride. Good to see Casey out there on the Speedway. Dom Salvo out there as well in that Williamsburg Contracting Racing number 19 ride. Again, a huge thank you and a huge appreciation here to Williamsburg Contracting, Shenco Custom Diecast, a couple of our amazing sponsors here with the Outcast Racing League. You see them and their logos riding on board pretty much every one of these race cars out there on the Speedway. Edward Belair out there on the Speedway as well. Good to see that 25 right back out there onto the racetrack. Anthony Garland out there as well in his beautiful number 81. Derek Litwiller right there with them here in the beautiful Lowe's Jimmy Johnson 48 ride. This beautiful Lowe's ride always looking fresh out there on the Speedways. Qualifying officially going to come to a close here this afternoon. So qualifying coming to an end, and that means we're going to get ready to rock and roll here with our A-Main feature event. Our A-Main about to get underway here this evening from the beautiful Indianapolis Motor Speedway. This is going to be a lot of fun. This is going to be a great time. We know the real NASCAR race. It's on. It's rolling up there. We do see them now under caution flag, not for stage, as it looked like somebody had lost a tire down there on the road, so a tough break. I'm not sure if that was Austin Cendric. I did see Cendric was down pit lane, so potentially a tough break right there for the number 2 ride. We'll have to keep an eye on that and keep our eyes peeled here for the real NASCAR races. We're going to be all tuning in, watching that as well, but here tonight we get the great show and the pleasure of having the Outcast Racing League back in action. My gosh, it is storming out there, ladies and gentlemen. It is storming. It is getting crazy outside my house right now. It is getting absolutely wild. My gosh, it is something crazy going on, man. We see so much action and everything else here in this one as it is storming outside, chat. It is storming outside, but up here in the broadcast booth, it is clean sailing. It is time for green flag racing here once again on the afternoon as the Outcast Racing League, powered by Williamsburg Contracting and Shenco Custom Diecast. The Land and Sea NSB in the RT3 Designs crew getting ready to go to battle here this afternoon as they get loaded up down on the front straightaway. Cameron Combs going to be starting in position number 2 in that Rockstar number 15 ride as we wait for our pole sitter, David Duran Jr., to jump into the race. There he is. There's that Coca-Cola 51 ride. David Duran Jr. starting on the pole with Cameron Combs there to his outside. The 19 Adam Salvo will start there in third with Colton Manich's Williamsburg Contracting Racing Shenco Custom Diecast teammate there to his outside, looking beautiful as always. Love that paint scheme out there. That chrome green look is absolutely fantastic there on the speedway. The Monster Energy 99 rider Chris Muse will start there in fifth, and to his outside in the Overton 76 machine, that is Caleb McKinney. Starting in position number 7 in the beautiful number 9 ride, that is Tyler Humphrey, and his outside, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers machine, that is Casey Gross. Rounding out our 5th row on the racetrack, that is the 12 of Josh Bromfield, the 3 in the Elite Sim Racing ZZX Digital ride, that is the RT3 Designs machine of Al Reed, who will round out our top 10. Then we see Kurt Sponsler. Sponsler will start there in 11th with Adolfo Castillo there to his outside. Then we see the 25 of Edward Belair, the 70 ride of Mike Killingbeck, the number 60 of Johnny Thunders will start there behind the 25. Then we see Derek Litwiller, Caleb McKinney. We see James Garland there in the 13 ride. We see a couple of these other drivers as well as Billy Jordan out there in that beautiful 14 ride. Johnny Thunders back in that the 16th position here starting this afternoon. Anthony Garland will be back there behind him. Jeffrey Reed, Robert Tuwiscu, Thomas Rails, hopefully I'm saying that right, Thomas Riles there in that beautiful looking number 26 ride, going to be starting back a little deeper in the field. He's going to have that 0-2 ride of Chad Lancaster down to his inside. Thomas Marcucci, oh, I'm probably getting that completely wrong. Marcucci there back in position at number 23 in that 40 ride. Then we see Devin Black in that 7, the 06 and a Chantel Pottle back there in 25th, and then Caleb McKinney unfortunately getting an EOL here. He will be starting at the back of the pack here this afternoon in that Overton's 76 machine, and Gary Wright unfortunately not loading into the sim here for this feature event. He will be back there at the rear of the field. As we get ready to go to battle, we get ready to duke it out here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. 4 very distinct corners here at this racetrack as these drivers loaded up and ready to go to battle. 90 laps of racing action here this evening as Anne-Marie Davis says, "We missed you last week, Peacemaker." As always, rooting for my babeski, James Garland. Always cheered on James Garland, and I missed you guys as well, man. I missed you guys as well. It felt so wrong. It didn't feel right not being up here in the broadcast booth on a Sunday afternoon. I was having the itch, man. I was so curious. I was so, intertwined and just wanting to know and see what the action was and everything else there last Sunday. And unfortunately, I was at work. I couldn't be on my phone, so I couldn't tune in and watch. But man, oh man, I missed not seeing these guys out there on the racetrack last Sunday afternoon, and it was a heartbreaker for me. It was a heartbreaker. I did not want to miss it, and unfortunately that new work schedule, the new job, unfortunately has us kind of bouncing around there on the weekends, which not a huge fan of, that's for certain, as we are quickly green flag racing here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. As out in front, the 51 rider David Duran Jr. leads us down the back straightaway, back down into corner number 3. He's quickly opening up that race lead, is down out of 3 and into corner number 4 here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. He will round that 4th corner and come back down the big, long front straightaway across the bricks here at the Brickyard, which every single one of these drivers are hoping to kiss later this afternoon. As lap number 1 going to be completed in the 51 of David Duran Jr., our race leader. So Duran out in front, showing these drivers how to get it done. Cameron Combs trying to hold on to that 2nd spot as Dom Salvo was looking down to his inside, trying to take that 2nd position away from us. Now we see Chris Muse there to his outside. We see an early caution flag. A wreck early on here this afternoon, as it looks like potentially Caleb McKinney and James Garland getting tied up in this one. A pair of drivers a little deeper in the field. Let's take a look here as it starts up a little closer. Not sure if the 13 gets a little help here on corner entry, but he sends it down low. Looks like, yeah, he's going to get a big shot right there. The 26 right deep into corner number 1. Unfortunately, slams into the back end of that Ghost Energy Toyota. James Garland washes Garland up the racetrack, shoving the Quantum Motorsports Shenco Custom Diecast Peacemaker Gaming number 60 ride of Johnny Thunders hard up into the outside fence. They bounce off the wall right there. He gets a shove down the racetrack. Unfortunately, collects that 76 of Caleb McKinney. McKinney slides hard down the racetrack into the inside wall, and look at that car get airborne, spinning like a top out there on the racetrack. And unfortunately for Caleb McKinney, that could be a day ender right there, as that was a very, very vicious hit coming down and out of corner number 2. As we take a look here, see those drivers come together on the outside. The 13 trying to keep himself from going all the way down. Unfortunately, gets another shot in the back end from the 26, which really starts to spin him around and put him into that 76 ride. And man, what a hit there for Caleb McKinney. A couple more drivers getting collected as well, as that's Chad Lancaster. Lancaster having to get onto the binders there, really trying to avoid any additional contact with that 13 of James Garland, as Garland just, man, had nothing to do right there. Just trying to hang on to it, trying to keep himself out of trouble, as early issues here for a couple of these drivers. One of those being Caleb McKinney, and this is what happens. You have a bad race the week before, you get penalized, you get that EOL, and you have to start at the back of the pack. He's trying to race his way back up through the field after qualifying up in the 6th position. He would have been in front of this. He would have had no part of that contact. Unfortunately, though, can't get so lucky out there on the speedway, and he gets absolutely clobbered here and hard into that inside fence, man. That is a very, very tough hit. You watch that 13 and the 26 right there. They come together again, just shoves Garland down the racetrack even farther than I think he was hoping to, and puts that 76 right into the inside wall. Man, what a hit. Tough break for a bunch of good drivers right there. James Garland getting tied up in it. McKinney, Johnny Thunders, Chad Lancaster, all these drivers, just unfortunate contact early on in this race. And now it's going to open up the door here for potentially some pit road strategies. We do see Tyler Humphrey down pit side, Casey Gross, Adolfo Castillo, Chad Lancaster, Chantel Pottle, James Garland down there getting repairs done to the 13 ride. Thomas Martucci there down pit side in the net source ride, as Thomas is down on pit lane here. Same with Caleb McKinney, and he's going to be down there for potentially an extended period of time. Still heavy damage on the front end of that 76 machine, as he's getting ready, hopefully, to jump back out there onto the racetrack and not calling it quits here on the evening. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you guys are just tuning in and you haven't already, please make sure you guys do us a favor, man. Absolutely free to do and helps us out a ton here on the broadcast. Hit that like button, hit that share button, and hit that follow and subscribe button, as we're going to get ready to go back to Green Flag Racing here on Peacemaker Gaming, as the Outcast Racing League back in action here, back to its home here on Peacemaker Gaming. Unfortunately, next week, we will miss next week as well. I do have to work again next Sunday. I'm hoping that that schedule gets changed. I'm hoping that things open up here, especially after the next, couple weeks or the next month or whatever else. Hopefully, we can get onto a different schedule where we don't have to work those Sundays. Or if we do work Sundays, hopefully it's early in the morning and we only work until, 1 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Enough time where we get that half an hour to get home, half an hour to get back in here and get this broadcast up and rolling, as we get ready to go back to Green Flag Racing. We get ready to duke it out here again in just a little bit, as David Durant Jr., Cameron Combs, Dom Salvo still our top 3 out here on the Speedway. Chris Muse rolling there in 4th, looking to have a good run here in the 99 run after winning that championship a couple years ago. He's had some tough breaks, he's had some tough runs, and Muse going to be looking to try to battle back, looking to try to put himself back into his winning ways and put himself back at the front of the field here in the Outcast Racing League. We'll have to wait and see what he can do and where he can move to try to put himself into the action here this evening. and some great racing action about to get back underway. The lights are off the official iRacing pace car, and we will go back to the fun here in just a couple more moments. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we can't thank you guys enough for tuning in. All the fans of the stands coming in, showing the love here this afternoon. It's Complete Graphics. How are you, Mr. Fowler? Fowler coming in, showing the love with that like on the stream. Bionic Man also coming in, showing the love over there on Facebook as well. Coming in with the zoom there, the car comment there, and coming in with that like on the broadcast as well. As, woo, baby, this is going to be good. This is going to be fun. Caboose says, let's go 99, cheering on Mr. Chris Muse out there on the speedway. Yeah, Muse is going to be looking to try to keep himself out of trouble, trying to keep that 99 right up there at the front of the field and see if he can try to put himself up into victory lane here this evening, as our second race, our second broadcast of the day already underway, already seeing some crazy action. And unfortunately, man, it's going to be wild as man, we're going to see these guys, unfortunately, have some issues, have some problems here, and unfortunately having some issues early on. We do see the sun coming back out, maybe a little bit more heat, maybe a little bit more grip for these drivers as we get ready to go back to green flag racing. As just quickly answering a message here in chat. Alrighty, back to green flag racing here in this one, the Outcast Racing League. Duking it out here once again on the afternoon as quickly David Durant Jr. back to the loud pedal here, looking to try to open up that lead once again as Dom Salvo up and around that number 15 of Cameron Combs. Combs slides back into that third position as the 00 Colton Manich gets back around the 99 of Chris Muse. Muse slides back into his starting position here in position number 5. Right there behind him, though, it's Al Reed and Kurt Sponsler who are trying to race their way up to the front of the field. Both drivers already up 4 spots and looking to continue to race their way towards the front. Unfortunately for the 49 ride, that NOS Energy machine slides up the racetrack a little bit too far, opens up the door again for Josh Bromfield. The work down low to his inside. Mike Killingbeck always getting a big piece of him right there. And now a big run out of the 25 ride. Edward Belair down the front straightaway, gonna go 3 wide here on the front stretch. Contact back there behind them as 3 wide down into quarter number 1. Not a great idea. A couple of drivers back out of it, as you do see Mike Killingbeck bounce it off the outside fence right there. Killingbeck definitely running into some issues here. Looks like that car getting tight, pushing off the corners here. We saw him push up almost in to that 49 on the exit of quarter number 4. There out of quarter number 1, gets up into the outside fence as well. As right there behind, we do see Derek Litwiller up 7 spots here. Same with Robert Tuiscu. Tuiscu ended up with a little bit of damage there, trying to get around that 14 of Billy Jordan, as we see some good green flag laps now getting underway here at the beautiful Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Now we will see some stage breaks here this afternoon, as earlier this evening we had an amazing race at Las Vegas Motor Speedway with the NASCAR Cup cars there at Las Vegas, and you know, we didn't see a single caution flag for 267 laps of racing action there in that race. Absolutely insane. Probably the longest, but also the cleanest race that we've seen here on Peacemaker Gaming earlier today, and so far, you know, off to a bit of a bumpy start there, contacting that first caution flag after the first couple laps, but you know, it looks like things getting back into the right conditions here. Everyone pointed in the right direction, everyone laying down great laps out there on the speedway, and everyone looking to have a solid run here this evening. See if we see any more caution flags throughout the day besides our stage break caution flags. As Indy is only 90 laps here, yeah, so there was a issue there in the schedule. It's at 110, but it's actually only 90 laps here this afternoon from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So 90 laps means that on lap number 20 in lap number 40, the completion of those laps, we will see that stage break happen. We will see the caution flag come out. Stage points will be handed out for some of these drivers up inside the top 10, so they'll earn those extra points. They'll be able to try to use that to help race their way into the playoffs. playoffs, and for our stage winner, an extra point that they can carry through all the way down to that final stage of our playoffs here, our final race for our playoffs. And in that championship battle, things are heads up there for our championship drivers, but for some of these other cats out there on the speedway, making sure that you get those stage points in, everything else, you may not be able to find your way into victory lane and pick up a win in the regular season, and you may not lock yourself into that championship contention, but keeping yourself out front, keeping yourself inside some of these, top 10 runs and getting those points could be the difference maker between making the playoffs or not making the playoffs here in the Outcast Racing League. And we've seen it come down to, 1 or 2 laps out there on the racetrack, or, 1 or 2 points in those point standings could be the difference maker between winning that championship or not winning that championship. As we'll keep on rocking and rolling, we'll keep on seeing these drivers duke it out in battle here this evening, as some great racing here in this one. These guys have been putting on a great run, man. Great show for us already here this afternoon. And I'm going to quickly message my buddy. All I can smell right now is garlic. I hate the smell of garlic, ladies and gentlemen, and that's all I can smell right now. I think my buddy downstairs, he is cooking some garlic up. I don't know if he's cooking beef up or whatnot, but that's all I can smell. All I can smell right now is garlic, and it's absolutely driving me wild. So if you see me kind of losing, grips here a little bit, or starting to lose focus out there, that's what it is. It is the garlic smell that's rolling through my apartment. That's all I can smell right now, and it drives me crazy. It absolutely drives me bonkers, the smell of garlic. I don't mind eating garlic. I can eat garlic. I don't like an overpowering taste of garlic, but the smell of garlic, especially cooking in something, oh, man, it does not sit well with me. It does not sit well with me. It actually kills me inside just ever so slightly. It's probably my vampire-ish coming out right there. We don't like garlic, and the smell of it just absolutely sends me up the wall. As David Duran Jr. out in front, he's looking to keep himself out of the wall, looking to keep that 15 ride of Cameron Combs back there at bay. As Combs rolls in position number 2. Colton Manich now up into 3rd as Chris Muse joins him there in 4th as both drivers move up. Unfortunately for the 19 of Dom Salvo, he slides a little farther back in that Williamsburg Contracting Racing Shenco Custom Diecast number 19 ride, as he's now back 4 positions and in position number 7 on the speedway. As Manich, Muse, Al Reed, and Josh Bromfield all able to get around that 19 ride. Now he's got Mike Killingbeck reeling him in a quick hurry. Kurt Sponsler and Derek Litwiller rounding out our top 10 on the racetrack, as we do see another driver heading down pit side. That's Thomas Riles. Hopefully I'm getting that right. Thomas Riles headed down pit road here in the number 26. We saw him get that early contact, unfortunately getting into the back end of the 13 ride of James Garland. And now we see this number 26 head down pit side. Heavy smoke bowling out of that car. So I'm not sure if something may have went loose in under the hood of that 26 ride, but now parked down pit side. We also saw Gary Wright rolling back out onto the racetrack here. So Gary Wright rejoining the field here. Unfortunately, he is multiple laps down, back in the 27th position. Thomas Riles now back in position number 26 here. Kill McKinney down a lap or 2 out there on the speedway. He rolls in 25th, and we do see James Garland. He still is on the lead lap. Still has a little bit of that front end damage from that early contact between him and the 26, getting up the fence and into that 60 ride as they came together there down through corner 1 and 2. But he's back now on the racetrack, rolling on the lead lap. And once again, as I just heard it thunder outside and shake the house here, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, look out! There goes that 65 ride. Jeffrey Reed hard into the outside fence right there. A little bit of thunder himself as he pancakes that outside fence. Heavy right side damage for the 65 ride. Already struggling, already having some damage on the right hand side of that 65, and potentially leading to more damage there for him as he pancakes that wall once again, back in the 24th position. But it is a storming outside here in Ontario, Canada. Canada. We got a thunderstorm rolling through right now. It's been raining all day long, but all of a sudden over the last half an hour or so, this thunderstorm has rolled in, and it's been going crazy out there. My house has been getting pelleted with, I don't know if it's hail or rain or whatnot, but I can hear it taking off the side of the windows and everything else, and a lot of thunder rolling out there as well and shaking my house, and hopefully it's good. Hopefully it stays good. Hopefully we don't run into internet connection issues. Hopefully we don't run into any of those problems out there on the racetrack, as we do see our race leader go around the lap traffic. There is the 26 Ryan going another lap down out there on the racetrack. David Duran Jr. able to make quick work of him. Now we see that Rockstar Energy number 15, Cameron Combs. He strolls around him as well. Here comes Colton Manish, our third place driver, and then Chris Muse. Al Reed rounding out our top 5. Bromfield back there at 6 with Dom Salvo, Mike Killingbeck, Kurt Sponsler, and Derek Litwiller rounding out our top 10 here on the broadcast, as we see Robert Tuiscu back there in 11th in that RT3 Designs number 6 ride, rolling there in that 11th position. Edward Belair, Casey Gross, Adolfo Castillo, Billy Jordan, Tyler Humphrey, Johnny Thunders, Chad Lancaster, Thomas Martucci back there in 19th, and Anthony Garland rounding out our top 20 here this afternoon. Devin Black there in 21st, with Chantel Pottle there in 22nd. James Garland, Jeffrey Reed, Caleb McKinney, Thomas Rails, and Gary Wright rounding out our field here. Gary still rolling on the apron here, having a tough run this afternoon, as Chris Motherfluffin Pilo coming in, setting it off, becoming a brand new subscriber here on Peacemaker Gaming over on the Facebook stream. Are you kidding me, Chris? Coming in, becoming part of the Peacemaker Sub Club here this afternoon. Shout out there to my boy Chris, obviously coming in, hitting that subscribe button, becoming a brand new member of the Peacemaker Sub Club here on Facebook. And Buddy Mills Jr., what's good, buddy? Mr. Mills coming in as well, becoming a brand new follower over there on Facebook as well, becoming a brand new part of the Peacemaker family here today. Buddy Mills, man, it's amazing that you haven't followed already, man. I've ran a few of your races back in the day, back when I used to race some 358 modifieds and big blocks myself. We ran a few races with Buddy Mills. Didn't do anything crazy. I don't know, we might have won a race or two, or at least came, top 5 or so. Usually pretty good in those 358 modifieds, but definitely not on the blacklist over there for the Blackjack Racing crew. We were always very good, very respectful out there on the racetrack, and didn't cause too much issues and everything else. So Bunny Mills, I appreciate that, brother, coming in, hitting that follow button. We definitely appreciate my boy Chris Motherfluffin Pilo coming in, becoming a brand new subscriber over there on Facebook, becoming part of the Peacemaker Sub Club here today. And if you guys want to join Chris Pilo and becoming one of our members of the Peacemaker Sub Club, hit that subscribe button, or over on Twitch, it's the subscribe button as well, but over on YouTube, it's the join button. Become part of the members club over there on Facebook, as we still see this 16 ride having a rough go of it here this afternoon. Has some right front damage on that car, but hasn't taken it down pit road. He's been kind of just rolling on the apron here, keeping himself out of trouble, keeping that car, for the most part, pointing in the right direction and not causing caution flanks. So that's what we like to see, but he's been having a rough go here back at the rear of the field. As out in front leading this race, it's David Duran Jr. Colton Manich there in position number 2, and Cameron Combs rounding out our top 3. As Michael Ponder Jr., what's good, Michael? Michael coming in with that heart reaction. Doug Crowningshield coming in with that thumbs up as well here on the broadcast. How are you, Doug? How are you, Michael? Hopefully you guys are having yourselves a wonderful Sunday afternoon. It's some great racing action here this evening. A lot of back and forth, a lot of great battling out here on the racetrack, and these drivers putting on one heck of a show for us here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway as they continue to battle, continue to move around the racetrack. Drivers trying to battle here for position number 2, as Cameron Combs not wanting to give up that spot here, as we did see Anthony Garland now make his way down pit side. So Anthony Garland heading down pit road as well. I think this is an untimed caution, or untimed pit stop here for the number 13 or 81 ride here this afternoon, as Oh, man, tough break there for Anthony Garland. Heads down to his pit stall, looking to get some work done here to the 81 ride. Going to get some new tires onto it, hoping to get back out there on the racetrack and hoping to stay on the lead lap. But right now, he is very much at risk, and I do believe he is going to go a lap down. But the battle back here for position number 2 continues to rage on. These three have been beaten and banging, continuing to cross each other over, continuing to battle for that second spot. David Duran Jr., he's loving every single second of it as he's getting the opportunity to start to open up that gap and start to pull away with this race lead as Colt Mannish trying to hold on to position number 2. Cameron Combs trying to take it back away from him. Chris Muse right there in that battle in position number 3. Josh Bromfield now up into 4th as we see the caution flag fly. So the caution flag is going to come back out here. Now I'm not sure what this yellow flag is going to be for or who may have gotten tied up in this one. Not sure where we're going to see a driver turned around or somebody running into problems. Maybe Anthony Garland. Oh, Garland's still rolling down the pit lane here, so I'm not too sure on where we see this caution flag or which driver runs into problems out there on the speedway. Actually, never mind. It is the end of stage number 1. I don't have, because it's a thunderstorm outside, I don't have my live stream feed up here, so I can't see exactly what lap we're on. And I do believe, without seeing any drivers run into problems right there, I do believe that is going to be the end of stage number 1 here this evening. So the stage coming to a close and some stage points being handed out for these drivers. David Duran Jr. going to end up with that stage win, earning himself those points here late in the race, and able to, late in stage number 1, able to get that stage win, able to get himself those points here this afternoon. Colt Mannish coming home in 2nd. Cameron Combs falling back there the 3rd with Chris Muse, Josh Bromfield, Dom Salvo, Mike Killingbeck, Casey Gross, Adolfo Castillo, and Tyler Humphrey getting some of those stage points here this evening. So some of those drivers able to make it here on fuel, able to save enough gas to get to the end of that first stage and able to earn themselves some stage points, and obviously one bonus playoff point going to that 51 ride as well. And for David Duran Jr., that's a great break for him, and you can tell the rest of these drivers, man, they are very, very close on fuel. You see the 15 ride, you see the 00, they were pushing hard late in that run, and you see them down on the apron. They're not wanting to roll out there on the racetrack. They're trying to make this the shortest trip around the racetrack here. Same with Dom Salvo. You see Salvo back there. He's down on the apron. These guys are trying to save as much fuel as possible, knowing that they are very, very close to running out of fuel. And if they run out of fuel, potentially could be a bad spot. As he says no, he's not cooking food. Why do I smell garlic? Is it me? It's not me. I just feel like I smell garlic. I don't know why. I don't know what it is, but I can smell garlic. He's not cooking garlic stuff, but I can just, that's all I feel like I can smell right now is garlic. But nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, you do see these drivers head down pit side. They're going to make their pit stops, and looks like Chris Muse able to roll out back onto the racetrack here with what would be not the race lead here, is actually Cameron Combs first down and out of pit lane here. So Combs going to be in front of all these other drivers. Chris Muse going to come out there in 2nd. David Duran Jr., Colton Mannish, Robert Tuiscu all right there. Looks like Tuiscu's going to stay out here. A few of those other drivers that were able to stay on the lead laps, make those pit stops, get that fuel, now going to lead this race. You do see a couple of these other drivers, they're hoping to get some free passes, some wave arounds, the lucky dog out there on the speedway, as Kurt Sponsler is going to be our race leader when we go back to green flag racing. So Sponsler, Cameron Combs, 1 and 2 here on the racetrack. Chris Muse, Billy Jordan, and Derek Litwiller rounding out our top 5 as we get ready to go back to green flag racing. As Brad says he's on the YouTube channel right now. Brad, I don't know what it is, brother. I just feel like I smell garlic. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's me. Maybe it's me. I don't know. I don't think it's me. Not that strong smelling. I thought you were cooking beef down there or something, brother. That's what I was smelling. I don't know. What does it mean if you smell garlic, but no one's, like, using garlic right now? What does that mean? Am I having a stroke? I'm having a heart attack. What is it? What is it, chat? Somebody's got to know. You want some garlic potatoes? Are you cooking garlic down there, Brad? I swear to God, he's got to be. Colorado Avalanche fan, you got to be doing it. You got to be cooking something with garlic down there, brother, because, like, it's driving me up the wall. It's driving me up the wall, man. I'm like, I might need to light a couple candles here in a couple seconds, chat. I may have to light some candles and try to get the fucking garlic smell out of my house. My gosh, what in the world? I messaged him and asked. He said he wasn't. He says, we have some supreme garlic taters down here. See, I knew he was cooking something with garlic. I'm out, brother. I'm out. I'm out on the garlic. No, thank you. I like taters. Don't get me wrong. I love taters, especially if they're supreme taters, loaded taters. I love them. But it smells like it is absolutely loaded with garlic sauce or something. Woo, baby. That's all I could smell. That's all I could smell for the last, like, half an hour or better is that garlic. Literally, since we went live, it was like just the overwhelming smell of garlic. It's crazy. I hate it. I hate it. I gotta breathe through my mouth now, but I can't because I'm talking so much. I legit told Morgan she put too much